to scoot down, so. Our height.
Your height scares me.
So.
Big question. Do we skip the 5 minutes of bull and jump in? Just to the stuff that one of our listeners prefers that we deliver, or do we deliver a show that a lot of other people happen to enjoy the social aspects and the interaction?
Actually, this is a great thing, and I hope our favorite listener out there who said that there's 5 minutes of bull is watching, because guys.
But she meant no offense.
Oh, of course not, guys. Bullies come in all shapes and sizes. They can come in the form of kids on the playground, and they can come in the form of little people behind their computer writing things that are really passive aggressive, like
little people.
Yeah. And the best thing that I can tell you guys is when you see a bully, just smile, brush it off, you're done. Bullies don't really want any outcome but to make other people feel like crap because they feel like crap. So we don't deal with bullies here. This person in question said there was 5 minutes of bullshit, and I concur. There was in fact, I'm gonna raise her and say there was about 10 minutes of bullshit.
At least.
And probably the rest of the show.
But let me jump in and just say that I would prefer. Gets me choked up. I would prefer not to do this show if we didn't do the 5-10 minutes of bullshit.
Yeah.
To me, this is the favorite part. This is my favorite part of the show. We get to talk, we get to have a good time.
Yeah.
And it's more about like this good time, this bullshit is really about like connecting and having fun with you, and hopefully getting like some smiles and chuckles and like connecting us all as a community. So if somebody doesn't dig it, and this is, I'm going to close it off because I know I sound like I'm on a kind of nasty tirade.
No, you're not.
You know me. I don't tolerate anybody. No, here's the deal is that we make it really, really easy for folks if you want to avoid the bullshit, right? So there are timestamps in our YouTube. It doesn't get any easier than that, right?
Unless you're just lazy and you're a bully and you just want to make other people feel bad.
Well, there's that alternative, right? So I'm just suggesting, in case somehow there was that portion of our show and what we include in it was missed, there are timestamps. So if you don't like honestly, hold on one second, lady.
I'm just saying that
are you trying to bully me?
You're spinning your wheels, because my guess is anyone who would write something like, if you could only skip the 5 minutes of bull, she or he is not looking at the actual
they don't
details.
care.
They're
they don't
not
care.
looking,
They're looking to
lazy
express themselves in a nasty way.
They're trying to bring other people down.
Right.
So we are going to stretch out shit today. In fact, this whole entire show is going to be bullshit.
It's going to be bullshit rich.
And that's the other thing. The timestamps don't necessarily save you from the bullshit. So if you don't like bullshit at all, I'm going to have to do so many
we're kind of the wrong gig for you.
We're definitely the wrong gig.
Yeah.
Because a lot of what we say, we're just making up on the spot, and it's not founded in reality.
Here's the deal. I had to throw my pen down. This is supposed to be freaking fun. And the only reason we do it is because, well, the couple reasons. Because it's fun for us to do, and because it's helpful for other folks out there. Now, if you're somebody watching and you're like, I want the help, but I don't want the fun, cool. There's a lot of things that
There's also
so there's a lot of things that, like, if I go to get a hot fudge sundae, I don't like nuts on it, but I like the hot fudge sundae, so I avoid the nuts, or I ask for no nuts, right? So if you do not enjoy this part of the show, or the banter, or the monkey business, I get it. You don't have to. We're not a great fit for everybody.
No.
But here's the thing.
Clearly.
That's why there's a fast forward button. That's why we're not stuck like you have to go through every single second and minute to try and like find the questions in there that are valuable. All you have to do is click on the timestamp, skip most of the BS, jump right in, get your questions, and get the heck out of there.
Or pay someone for training. Next.
I think we can tell who might be a little miffed at this point. So
I don't like bullies. The reason I don't like them, beyond the fact that they make people feel like crap, we're used to them, fortunately. It still is like, whoa, like it's a killjoy.
We get a ton.
We get a lot of it.
Yeah,
but it's still a killjoy it's like, oh, like as soon as I heard that or read it, I was like, oh, were we going on too long? Like, I don't want to second guess myself thinking like that.
We weren't going. We weren't going on
I thought
too
about
long.
it for 1 second, but I'm saying that's where I was. And then the other part of it,
We are going on too long today.
I don't care. I hope she's watching. The other part of it is that what it kills also is other people reading and like excited. For that one comment, there were 10 or 15 others that were like, this was so fun.
Yep.
And that feeling, I know that feeling when you are like, oh my gosh, this was a great episode. And then you read someone else that says it's bullshit. It instantly makes you feel small.
It detracts from your experience.
Yeah.
And I think that's why both of us are pissed off, because it's an incredibly selfish move.
Very.
Like, if you don't like something, avoid it or find a way to fast forward through it. But to comment on there in a public place that both of us know is going to diminish or cause other people that enjoy it to question or wonder or go, man, was that a lot of bullshit?
Right.
It detracts from the experience.
Totally.
So I think it's a really selfish move. I think
my guess is that this person in question has problems in a lot of areas in her life of feeling miffed or bullshitted.
Well, we're going to definitely probably hear from her in the comments
Please,
soon.
let us hear from you.
Anyways, guys, for those of you who don't like our bullshit, go to the timestamp, skip it, and just watch the questions you want to watch. Right? We're cool with that. You don't need to. You don't need to roll with us through the whole time.
We are so cool with that.
Yeah, absolutely. But
there are so many people that don't want to watch this, and they don't.
But there's a lot of folks that really enjoy it, and honestly, like I said, if we didn't do this, I wouldn't be interested in doing it, because this is for me personally, on a selfish level, this is the most fun that I have.
Yeah.
Yes, answering questions and helping you guys is fantastic, but I really like this dynamic. I like us getting to chat. I like us getting to make each other laugh, and hopefully, if we hit it just right, maybe get a few chuckles. And what's funny is that episode was one of the best episodes we've done in a really long time.
Right.
And we got so many responses from people that were like, that made me laugh so hard, or that was so good. So anyways, we're gonna let this one go right here.
What a shame to be so angry. All right.
So anyways, no. It's not question number one. So we're leaving Thursday for New Orleans.
I can't believe it.
Well, it's true.
I can't.
No bullshit.
No bullshit?
We're leaving Thursday. I'll be gone for 20 days. Laura's just going for a quick little jaunt. We've got the workshop starting 7th and the 8th.
Yep.
We'll be down there flying the 5th. The 6th, we'll do lots of prep work, get it all ready to rock and roll for you guys.
Yep.
And then 7th and 8th, we hit it hard. We're going to have a great time hanging in with all you folks. There's so many awesome, wonderful folks coming in that it's going to be a true pleasure. A lot of people that we've been wanting to meet for a long time, we're finally going to get to meet. So that's super exciting. And then we're also getting board and trains in simultaneously. So there will be some multitasking. We may even bring some of those dogs down to the workshop to work with them because they've got issues.
Yep.
Then Miss Morgan is flying out. What do you fly out Monday or Tuesday?
Tuesday, yep.
So she flies out Tuesday. She's just like popping in like a rock star.
But the whole time we're going to be doing one-on-ones and other like things during the day. So it's not really like a NOLA like fun trip. I mean, it's fun like that, but it's not like our just like
no, it'll be a great
trip.
time. But the main goal is to get down there and BS a lot of people and string them along and waste their time. No, just kidding. The goal of it is to get down there and help a bunch of folks that have been on a waiting list with serious dogs for a long time.
Yes.
So we're excited to get down there and really knock out a few dogs that need some help.
Right.
Not knock them out physically, but knock them out in a progressive way. So that's really exciting. Helix has caught a lot of flack, a lot of like good traction, ton of support from all you awesome folks out there. But then of course we've had a lot of the positive folks show up, and of course I ban and delete them because we don't need their bullshit. So, but anyways.
Don't be a bully.
So yeah, they come on and they tell. I mean, there was quotes about me burning in hell and the way I torture animals, and I hope I get to burn in hell and feel the torture that I share with these animals, and lots of other cruelty things and fun stuff like that. So, but what's awesome is that Helix is proving everybody wrong, and what we're showing is a slow documentation, and we're going to have the most kick-ass video of Helix from start, growling, snarling, lunging, being a maniac, a dog that was scheduled for euthanasia, who came here as the last stop, who we've managed to stop all of that silliness, and he's slowly transitioning into a better dog.
To the real guy.
He's an insecure, fearful dog, no doubt, and everybody who's like, his tail is tucked or he looks unsure. That's what happens when you're an insecure, nervous, fearful dog and you've been practicing aggressive displays all your life to try and keep things safe for yourself, and somebody says, you don't get to do that anymore. So we've seen it enough. We've been through the process enough. Any of you guys watching out there that are like working with your own dogs or trainers that are working with challenging dogs, hold on to the concept of that rehab can often have like a middle section that's messy, right? And if you know your work well enough, you know it's gonna like come in crazy, then it's gonna get a little messy, and then it's gonna arc on up into a nice place. And Helix is getting better every single day. So wait till his folks take him home, and it's gonna be so cool. So I'm excited about that, and I'm like I said in my post, I can't wait to let that video kind of like give it to the positive only folks right on the chin, because so much silliness, so much nastiness, and the worst part of it all is that it's all set up to scare the shit out of owners and get them to not explore, to get them to not explore other possibilities or alternatives with their dogs, rehome them, manage them, or put them down. So, and I'll close out this little section with what is one of my biggest, greatest, largest beliefs, no BS, is that if you can do it, show it.
Yes.
Just show me a video. Everybody's got a video camera in the back of their pocket. If you're doing great work with dogs, I don't care how you're doing it. If you're doing it with carrots, if you're doing it with food, if you're doing it with butterflies and who knows what it is, show me. Document it. And show me. That's all I ask. So
we've been waiting for that for probably what, 5-6 years.
I think there's a great meme that you shared once with a skeleton sitting on a bench that was like still waiting to rehab an aggressive dog. It's an awesome meme, maybe one of my favorites, close to my heart. Anyways, good for you finding it. Anyways, I want to move on because we're getting deep in the BS. So from there, the new place is coming along. We've got all new stuff going on, getting painted, furniture's in, the joint's looking great. Clients,
new table out there, new table here.
Oh, new table. Yeah, right. New table. Laura's still like adjusting to this new table.
Everyone's adjusting to the new table.
It's smaller than the old one, but the old one had some edges chewed out of it, right? So we went for something a little bit newer. It's a little smaller, so we'll see how we deal with it. If I'm heavily guilted, I'll go out and get another table.
It's beautiful. It's just small.
It's just small. And so, anyways, everything's coming along. Clients have been showing up. We opened up for boarding. We got hit tons and tons of emails of folks coming in for boarding. Things are looking so great, guys. So the new property, everything is fabulous, and we can't wait to see some of you folks if you come in for boarding. With that said, the BS is officially over, and it's time for us to jump into this show.
Whole episode of BS.
Are you ready?
Ready.
I want your smiley, sweet stuff. Ready? Hey, everybody, it's Sean from The Good Dog, and to my left, the unfortunately chock full of BS, lovely Morgan with the lovely Morgan. That's
lovely
not,
Laura Morgan.
The lovely Laura Morgan. Wow, I'm losing my mojo.
New nail shape, new colors.
This takes me back to like 89, 93. That was rocking when I was young. That was in my time.
7.
Right? Nails definitely go under the category of BS, right?
Of course.
Right? Okay. Anyways.
Episode number
82. Boom! That's what we call a quick recovery. Anyways,
all right.
So let's jump on in.
We're going to jump on in.
Good, punchy episode. You know what Gary Vee calls it?
What?
Salty V.
Salty V.
Whenever he's like, people are giving him names, he's like, oh, it's Salty V. So we'll have to come up with some new names for ourselves when we're in this mode.
I don't want to be salty. I don't want
salty can be fun.
Around.
No.
Okay, question number 1. It comes from lovely Tara Isaacson.
Hey, Tara.
Tara says, hey guys, love Sean's rant on leash reactivity. As you know, I started using the dominant dog collar with Scout with some good results.
Yep.
I've been working with a great local trainer, Ty Brown, and saw some video from Tyler Muto where they use what looks like the crittering that both you and Jeff Gellman have described.
The old mythical crittering. Yep.
basically recalling the dog from the target using stimulus from the e-collar. When do you recommend using the crittering or recall protocol? My other dog easily calms down with a minor prong or e-collar correction, but Scout is a different story.
Scout.
Prong and higher levels tend to escalate her. What's your thoughts about using this technique with the dominant dog collar as an emergency break? Looking forward to seeing you guys at July T3.
Boom, Tara's coming to July
Yeah,
T3?
she sure
Are you
is.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Wow, I
know.
don't think I knew that.
I think you did at some point, but it was a while back.
Wow, Tara, that's so exciting.
I know.
Wow. And if I forgot, my apologies. I'm obviously excited you're coming.
So exciting.
It's going to be so great.
Can't
You're
wait
so
to
like dedicated and kick-ass. So, okay, so I wrote you some notes. For one, awesome you're working with Ty. I know Ty. Ty's a great guy, sweet guy, very talented trainer.
Very.
And so that's great that you're working with him, and hopefully he can help you guys maybe make some more progress, get over the hump, stuff like that. Now, I want to talk a little bit about crittering. So the crittering, there's a lot of different methods, a lot of different approaches, a lot of different like protocols for it. Basically, you've got like, crittering is basically like recalling dogs off of critters, dogs, anything they might be interested in. Now there's some very technical ways of doing it. Luke Hassel's got, if you go to lukehassel.com, he's got some very explicit protocols that he's written out about
Is that
how...
what the video is?
No.
No, there's no crittering
There's
video.
no crittering video.
Oh.
Just protocols
The
written out.
elusive one?
Yeah. Sorry, Lou hasn't done, I don't think he does videos.
No, but remember Jeff always used to be like, Shauna's a crittering video.
Oh, my
like,
crittering
yeah.
video. No, I don't think I've ever shown one.
No.
And but Jeff's sure it exists. And when I do produce it, like the world will change.
It will change, yeah.
So, but Tyler's probably got one out there. So there's go to lukehassel.com, and if you want to read like some the really complex protocols for crittering. But what we typically do and what we find to be more helpful is just long line recalls. Start short recalls and then go to longer line recalls because of the psychological effect with the dog. So whether it's squirrels, cats, dogs, I'll just take dogs out around park areas or whatever, and I'll just start, once their recall is solid, I'll start recalling them off, or calling them back. And the rationale or the concept behind it is that psychologically, when a dog wants something really badly, and the e-collar, rather than you grabbing him and pulling him back, the e-collar makes the dog feel psychologically they're doing the work. So they're going after something, I want it, and I'm turning around and coming back because of the e-collar stimulation. So once again, if we keep training really simple, the concept is really a simple one. It's like doing that behavior, chasing, targeting, getting, after critters is going to be uncomfortable. The moment you break off that, it's going to get more comfortable. So there's a variety of ways of doing it. I think Ty Brown does a thing where he calls step back recall, where he's walking a dog down the street, and if the dog starts to get reactive or goosed up or focused, hyperfixated on another dog, steps back, recalls the dog back to him. So that's kind of one of his things. I typically don't do that. I'll do more long line recalls. I don't do the not slow, but the more intense protocols for crittering. And here's my thing. I haven't found, and if I had, I'd be shouting it from the mountaintop, but I haven't found crittering to be something that generalizes to all the other dogs and that holds. I can see it in the moment. What I've seen is it creating a valuable moment where you can take a dog that's reactive to another dog and slowly bring it closer until that's dissipated or gone. But what I haven't seen is a real lasting effect where you recall the dog off enough times or do the specific protocols or step back recalls and have the dog not care about the other dog. To me, it feels a little bit more like I said, the long line recalls for me are the most valuable that we find. But otherwise, the other kind of crittering protocols and even the step back recall, for me, feels more like management. It feels more like, let me get your attention back on me. And I think the concept behind that for a lot of trainers is to avoid using higher level corrections for focus on dogs. So instead of just saying no or watch me and correcting the dog and saying, you're not allowed to do that, you're not allowed to focus or fixate, they will recall the dog back because they can use lower level pressure, but I really feel it's more of a management thing. But That said, I encourage you to go rock and roll with Ty, see what you get out of it, and then report back to us. If it works like a charm, I want to hear all about it. And if it doesn't, we want to hear all about it so we can slam Ty.
Yep.
Just kidding.
No,
Yeah, let us know what's cooking with that. And I
wait to meet you
I hope
in
that answered
July.
some of your questions about crittering / recall stuff.
Hi, Tara.
See ya.
Question number 2 comes from Johanna. Johanna. She asked, in 2 places.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a pretty long question, so I'm going to kind of
Just
break it down.
get it down to the juicy stuff.
So she says, first of all, I love your videos and page. Thank you for all that you do. So I have a mini Aussie named Jasper who's about 40 pounds. He's super excellent. I work with him very hard and mostly he's balanced. He's a typical Aussie, leery of new people and protective. I like him being protective, but only when I want him to be. Usually with a little correction, like a verbal shh or a snap on the pinch collar, he does what I want or quits doing what I don't want him to do.
Yep.
I have a very structured home. I think that's it. My issue is when people come to the door. I have a terrible time getting him to calm down. I tell people to completely ignore him until he's calm, but the problem is, and it's his worst enemy, is that he's a black tri with blue eyes and everyone wants to be his friend. Almost everyone that meets him stares in his eyes and lunges at him like to pet him.
Right. Pressure.
He has the most awesome hurting laser beam focus, so mostly I have to focus on me if I figure he can't handle a situation. Most of the time that works. But basically, when people come to the door maybe once a month, I can't even correct him with a prong collar. He's so worked up. He'll listen to me as far as a down or a sit, but he'll bark like crazy, and it's loud, insecure, fearful, excited bark, totally different than when people walk up to the fence. If I make him back up, he barks at me, and I feel like he gets upset that I'm back moving him. I use my body language to back him up by walking at him. He's never bitten anyone, but he does growl sometimes. Of course, I correct the growling. He calms down faster on a leash than off because he looks to me for direction more. I think he feels like maybe I can't handle a situation. Can't afford an e-collar right now.
Sorry.
I can't afford an e-collar right now, but what would you suggest? So basically just door issues, right?
Yeah, it sounds like she's doing a lot of awesome work.
Yeah.
It sounds like she's kicking butt on a ton of fronts.
Definitely.
But that yet she's kind of stuck with the door being a huge trigger.
Yep.
And probably doesn't have the right tools or methodology for that.
Right.
Which means
So,
you go.
I'm answering this one. Okay, so Johanna. So I would say...
Is this one of the Laura Smackdowns?
No,
Okay.
Laura Smackdown. You can't afford an e-collar. I mean, for me, like an Aussie, any of these like kind of high energy breeds that have any nervousness, I'm always like, just go to an e-collar. You'll be so much happier. And then you don't have to like snap with the pinch collar. You can have them inside the house, and if there's a barking or they're starting to alert, you just correct. It's like a nice and neutral correction. Bring them back to place command. So
Junior, get out of here with that hedgehog.
So I would say basically that I think e-collar would be your best option to go with that. But in any other case, I would say you have a leash on the dog inside the house. You say he works with you better on leash than he does off leash. If he's inside the house, and I know that you are correcting him, so what I'm guessing is that you're getting him a little too late. I think that if you have a leash on her, you can actually influence her maybe a little bit sooner when someone comes to the door. I would set it up and I would correct her for that stuff. But I can always tell we have a long question. I think she is your pride and joy. It's a she, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So I would be really watching affection levels, and I would be watching...
Very insightful.
Thank you. Was that on there?
No, just very insightful.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this isn't, I mean, I always like owners that have like a ton of detail with their question, and their dog is like everything, and the dog is really obedient too, and like does focus on them and stuff like that. There's a lot of bond there, and that can be a dog's undoing in terms of anxiety. So, and the fact that she's barking at you and sort of, what did you call it, upset that you're backing her up, that's definitely a respect issue.
Yeah.
Any
big time.
dog that's coming back at you like, how dare you, if my dogs did that with me when I told them not to do something, that would be definitely a problem. And not because I'm like some power hungry like person.
Yeah, you are.
Well, that but I am just more about, I know what that means in the long run. I would just watch everything. I would have much more structure than maybe you think you're already doing. Just see what you can get, because we want a much more respectful dog, so that when you correct in a conversation, even if it's a heightened conversation, that she actually goes, oh, I really listened to her. And I know she's great. I know she's great in a lot of contexts, but it's really important that you're having a better sort of a response. Like if I heard that in a phone call and someone said, yeah, they kind of bark at me or whatever, and I corrected the growling before, I know that the correction wasn't significant enough and there's probably relationship issues going on.
If my dog barked at me when I was trying to back him up from the door,
It wouldn't be good.
there would be something loose, and it would most likely be hell.
Be broken loose?
It would be breaking loose. That's such a disrespectful thing. It's such an arousal thing, like Laura's saying, and arousal born out of disrespect and not having consequences that are significant.
And like you even said it, you said she doesn't think I can handle it. That to me is like
huge
right
red
there.
flag.
Yeah. So if she's feeling like, man, I'm obedient with mom when it works for me, mom's a little bit soft with me too, and doesn't mean you have to be a hard ass with her, but just a little bit more.
But when the consequences are necessary, like just let me finish this one up, because I know you're getting long in the tooth. Ladon. So the quick thing is that, like Laura said, if you could go to an e-collar on this, you could knock this out, like do a little bit of foundation work and knock it out with a high level correction for the arousal, recall your dog back. All I suggested was teach your dog recall, place, and I think down, right? Recall, place, and down. Recall your dog, so your dog goes crazy at the door. High level correction after your dog's been conditioned. Recall him back, lay down, knock the crap off. But the only thing that works, and I'm gonna this last thing before I close this out, the only thing that works to make behavioral changes are when consequences are significant enough for your dog. What is this all about? Consequences are significant enough that your dog says, I want to make a better choice. That's it. Right now, your dog is getting away with it because your consequences of backing your dog up, they don't mean enough. No. So we're going to leave it there, because otherwise we're going to never finish this one up.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Please check in and let us know, because you're doing great already, and so it's just little tweaks. Cool. Okay, question number 3. We
Kathryn.
got Kathryn. Kathryn says, I know it's past the Monday deadline, but I'm hoping to get in.
You got
she
in.
did. I've been immersing myself in your Q&A and YouTube, looking for the answer for my foster. Well, technically he's a foster, but will be a rehome if I can place him, as his last rescue transferred him to me because of the liability of having them on their books, and he's unadoptable due to numerous bites. One on record, which is unfortunately a child. The others have been my husband and a few others who have looked at him in the eye or confronted him. The rescue wanted to bring him up north to train him and then adopt, but they considered him unadoptable. They would put him down. I couldn't take a chance. So, after a year, he can accept direction from my husband, but continues to snarl and growl, will follow quickly with a warning bite if I don't hear him, to people he happily greets and is friendly to. He's unpredictable when I've had him growl when my daughter-in-law was scratching his back, not even making eye contact. He was in his bed, though. I'm learning triggers. Eye contact, too much physical contact, even simple petting over 20 seconds. Yeah, you bet your ass. Dog's never getting pet like that.
Sounds like SmackDown time.
I'm just like, over 20 seconds, he's not right now, and have done extensive obedience with him. Force-free distraction when he acts out hasn't worked. I've always used an e-collar on him, as I can't afford the liability of him getting loose in my area. 2 balance trainers have told me that he's unadoptable and very likely a one-person dog, mine. What can I do to balance him enough to trust him around people in my house or find him a home? My husband's concerned about the liability. I would keep him, but the husband's still pushing to rehome. He's exercised, knows place, sit down, come, go find, long out, etc. And he's sweet, funny, and laid back, and willing and smart.
Sorry, I got some Indian words stuck. Kathryn, we need to have a talk. Okay, so we're all about positivity. We're all about being optimistic. We're all about transformation. We're all about thinking the best. We're all about taking dogs that are in trouble and helping them get to a better place and becoming their better selves, their best self. That said, what you're talking about is a highly dangerous, highly risky scenario that involves not just you, but members of your family and possibly members of your community. Having that dog when there's a million great dogs that are in the shelter, foster, rescue system, and having this dog with multiple bites, especially one to a freaking kid, that's an untenable risk. It's something that I would highly recommend, even if your heart's in it, even if you feel committed. It's easy to get committed to these broken dogs and want to try and save. But I'm telling you, this is a bomb waiting to happen that's going to go off somewhere in your life, or somewhere outside of your life within the community, something like that. And you're ultimately going to be responsible for it, and it's going to feel terrible. So my actual recommendation, based on all of those bites, based on the unpredictability, based on the stuff of petting and then dog getting snotty and nasty, all of that stuff, either you hold on to that dog and you lock him down and you do your very best, which I still think is a losing proposition. I don't know if you've ever heard me say this on the show before, but this sounds like a dog that should be put down. This sounds like a dog that is, and I hate to be like the big heavy dude, but like there's too many good, safe dogs out there to take a dog that's got this much, not just like, oh, he could potentially do it. He's done it. It's there. He's bitten. He's bitten a child. He's bitten multiple people, and he's threatened and set consequences and set boundaries for a lot of other people. You said he's unpredictable. That is a dangerous dog to have in your home or have in the community. And so we're no like wilting flowers with this stuff. We're tough folks that work with some of the toughest dogs around, but that dog, I would heavily recommend you second guess, or you reconsider, I should say, keeping that dog around in your life, because ultimately that responsibility is going to fall on you if something crappy happens.
Here. Here's a good one.
You want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I mean, everything that Sean said, it's again, nothing that we recommend. I think we haven't even recommended, but said to one client, if you did choose to put this dog down, we would understand. Highly dog aggressive dogs. So to me, if you said, this is my dog, I've had him for years, this is what's going on, I'm totally committed to him, husband and I are like doing this, I need him in my home.
We're all in.
We're in. But we're talking about a dog who you're fostering, that you're gonna try to adopt out or try to rehab, and you know, you're not a trainer that rehabs these guys on the regular, and that's definitely something to be like, that's a huge liability for you to be like, yeah, well, I think he's okay now, and you give him to another home that doesn't know the extent of things or has no experience in it, or you keep him, and the unfortunate part with this stuff is some people get locked into a dog, but they're like, I gotta save this dog, and then that puts them out of being able to foster or help dogs, any other dogs.
Good point.
Because they can't take in dogs because they're worried maybe something will happen, or they can't have more people around. Like, they're like, okay, I'm just a one dog household now, and this is it. And then all the help stops for this one guy. And yes, we love dogs, and I'm sure he's sweet. I'm sure he has tons of redeeming stuff. But man, those are not light offenses, you know, to bite a child and actually have it on the record. Like, we're not just talking like, oh, he bit like, you know, a random, like sometimes
somebody walking by on a walk or something like that.
Or like the situation was set up and the kid grabbed his face. Like, if it's on the record, that usually means there's probably a situation that was like, wow, this is a bad thing and needs to be told.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a tough one. I feel for you. I so do. Man, we have had personal dogs that have just tough, and we've stuck it out, but they definitely can put a damper in your plans if you're not willing to totally be on board and have this guy be yours.
Yeah, I don't think any of us have ever owned a dog that we felt was dangerous and unpredictable, that could actually form some kind of a risk to the community.
Yeah.
And here, the last thing I'm just going to close out with, how would you feel if this dog went to another home, got out of the house or in the house, and bit some child terribly on the face. Like you have to look at that stuff, and you have to really weigh that out. And how would that feel? And you can say like, well, that's because the family didn't do their. It doesn't matter. We're talking about a kid getting damaged. So for me, it's not worth it. I wouldn't be willing to do it. I applaud you, and I think Laura applauds your effort, your care, and your concern. But it's
if a rescue is telling you like we got to give this up and you can take her if you want or take him if you want, it's not necessarily it's a really good clue. Let's put it that way. Because rescues will some rescues will hold on to dogs for a long time.
Yeah, sorry about the tough talk, but I think it's maybe one of the most important conversations we can have with you and anybody else that's in a similar situation with it.
Yeah.
So wish you good luck with all that.
Yeah.
And sorry, it's such a hard one.
Yeah, let us know how things go. That's a tough one.
Take care.
Okie dokie. Question number 4.
Yes.
Comes from Amber. Amber says, we use an e-collar and prong. My dog is an absolute disaster as soon as we get in the car. How can I help him? We tried treats and he won't eat in the car.
What?
He'll get in the car willingly but runs around or will jump in my lap. Car is too small for his crate. Oh, good. Help.
Guess whose name is connected to this? Smackdown Laura. It's in the house.
It's not smackdown time. Someone said that last. I was like, what did I smack down? There's
you just come like gunslinging.
That's not true. I want to hear everyone's opinion on that because I think that's totally
It's good cop, bad cop.
It's so not.
Right? Now, the whole reason behind this is because like I'm the dude and I'm like I've got to be. I think I feel like I like to be more careful about what I think.
I'm careful.
You're very careful, but you also have a different thing, and so you can share a firmer thing, which I think connects with people in a different way than if I'm like big, like shaved head dog trainer. I'm like, well, listen, you better.
That's true.
It has a different effect coming from you.
That's true.
So you get to do the smackdown occasionally.
Okay, Amber. Here's the deal. You're in such an awesome position. You already use an e-collar and prong collar. Bang. You're the bomb. Oh my gosh, how is this happening? We hear this all the time, like with clients or something like, okay, wait, but this happened in this situation. You're like, why didn't you correct him? Like, put him in some sort of structure, some sort of like, if he's getting in the car, he'll get in the car willingly, won't take treats in the car. There's your big clue. Dog isn't comfortable in the car. He won't take treats in the car. So what do we do when dogs aren't comfortable? We help them, right? We have to help them. It's not just about like, hey, you sit down in the back seat. It's like, stop spinning and pacing because you're uncomfortable.
Yep.
Down, correction, down. Or if the car's too small for a crate, then you have a little pillow or you just have him in a spot that he lays down. Down. If he gets up, correct. No. If he barks or he's like panting or, it doesn't sound like he's doing any of that. So you're kind of like golden. You just need to use that tool. Have that e-collar on him.
I think a lot of people don't realize the flexibility of the tool.
Right.
They think
They're
they
like,
can
it's just
only
for
use
recall,
it.
or just for inside,
Or for sitting down and stuff. They don't realize that it's like one of the best. Like anytime we have clients that show up with car stuff, we're like, ooh,
Great.
You're so set up.
Totally.
Because now you can be driving remote, in the center console, your dog gets nutty, you can pick it up and correct and get it done easily. The only thing I'd add to this is that if your dog is like in a kind of intense, frenzied, overly aroused state in the car, like not just like pacing or something, but like kind of losing its mind. First thing I would likely do, and this might be uncomfortable for you, is I would roll up and I'd correct high, just to
knock it all down,
to knock all that arousal out. And then what I do is what she just said, which is at a lower level, reinforce, lay down. Right? So first, clear the cobwebs, clear the craziness, clear the cloud of arousal, because your dog is just worked up and in a cycle. Boom, big correction. You don't even have to say anything. Just tap at a high level. Your dog should go, if you hit the right level, should go, whoa, wow, calm down, and then lay down. And then enforce it. Don't let your dog back up. You'll find your dog start to relax and be more calm in the car.
Definitely.
Cool.
All right, let us know about that one. That one's going to be an easy fix for you. Nice work with all your other work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Question number 5 from
Can you promise
Melinda.
me that this question will be bullshit free?
Bullshit-free question.
Okay.
Promise.
I think we should.
Scouts on.
I think we should have this in every episode. One question that's bullshit free.
I can't promise.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see what we can do.
The good dog training and rehabilitation.
More cursing in this episode than in
I'll
any
beat
other
all
episode.
that. I might miss a few. I'm sorry, guys.
I hope you leave a few in.
We have a 2-year-old GSD, and we had an incident today at the family event where he lunged at my dad.
Yep.
He actually did it twice within a matter of seconds. My dad was trying to pick up his rear leg and get his leash unwrapped for it. Ooh, it was very scary, and I'm not sure how to handle it. He's a big dog, and I don't want him to be mean. I'm wondering if he should just stay home from now on. Any advice or suggestions? Thoughts to share, please? He's usually very friendly, but this really scared us. I don't mean to laugh. It's just kind of funny, like, the option of just being like, maybe he should stay home. Like,
I like it.
leave
It's
him
just a
home.
very practical kind of approach. All right, Melinda, that GSD. So, can be a lot of things. So there's a couple points that jump out at me. One, he's 2 years old, which is prime time jackassery.
Yes.
Like if you got a GSD that's 2 years old, that's prime time for him to like assert himself, be more possessive, be more protective, be more reactive, all that great stuff that's not great. So that's part of the deal. Now, got his leash caught within his legs, makes him stressed, maybe a little uncomfortable, a little feisty. Your dad goes down to grab his leg and help him out, good intentions. Dog doesn't maybe have the same trust level and relationship with your dad. 9. Your dad doesn't have the same trust and kind of like relationship respect level that you do with your dog. And so your dog decides like, who the hell are you? And turns and gives this kind of lunge behavior, right? And so for me, it's just a shitty choice. Sorry, you have to bleep that out too. It's just a, I'm sorry, I'm all worked up. I'm all worked up today. It's a shitty choice from a dog that's an adolescent who's making crappy decisions based on like, I don't like you touching my leg. Guess what? Too bad. So when humans touch your leg, if they're ripping it off, yes, bite them. If they're helping you get your leash out from under your leg, don't bite them. That's a jackass decision, right? That's born out of jackassery. I'm sorry, I'm all worked up in this episode. But here's the deal. So what I would have done if I was you, I would have had, if he's got a leash on, it would have been a leash connected to a prong collar at least. I'd love that your dog would, if your dog was e-collar trained, it's a piece of cake to sort out. But if we don't have that option and we've just got a leash, then better make sure it's connected to a well-fitted prong. And what would have happened the moment that my GSD lunged at my dad because my dad was getting his leash out, I would have said no calmly, and I would have walked over, and I would have corrected that dog with a nice pop to the side so firmly that he would have seen stars and never thought again, and this sounds harsh, but never thought again about lunging, putting teeth on. I know he didn't put his teeth on, but thinking about it, contemplating it, threatening, setting boundaries. Don't you freaking touch me. Don't you do. Oh no, you're my dog. You're the dog in this relationship. You're not the one who sets the limits or the boundaries. We do. You do that again, curtains for you, buddy boy. So for me, I would have shared a firm consequence, and if you see it in the future, I would share a very firm consequence with that dog. And I mean, like with a shepherd, could Cujo stop? Is he excavating underneath the new table? With the shepherd, it's really easy to like have them kind of turn pressure off. A lot of them are really tough. Some are kind of wimpy, but a lot of them with a prong collar, you can pop and they're so tough. They're like, so you've got to make sure that just keep it simple, keep it clear. Do I like this behavior from my dog? If I don't, correct it. If I do like this behavior from my dog, cool, allow it, reward it, whatever you want to do. But that kind of behavior, especially at that age where dogs are trying things, let me see what I can get away with. What happens when I do this? When I lunge, do people give me space? How does it all work out for the dog? It shouldn't work out for the dog. You do that again, I'm gonna knock your block off. Not in the literal sense, but in the sense of like, how freaking dare you lunge at a human being, especially one in my family. That would be my approach, and a lot of people could disagree and be like, you need to feed him a treat because he's like nervous about dad, you need to desensitize him to dad. That's bullshit.
That's bullshit. So our friend she should be like, at minute 59.
Hopefully she's like, amen.
She's like, now that is bullshit.
Now that. So anything you want to add to that? Because I know I got worked up, and I mean no disrespect, Melinda.
Yeah.
All I want to do is empower you to see it for what it is. So many times we get into a space of like, we're worried about our dog being like overwhelmed or freaked out. The leash was caught between his legs. Dad was trying to help. He wasn't sure. Like, I set all that up initially, but even with all that, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's a poor, crappy choice born of a dog not understanding his place in the world and not understanding there's consequences for poor choices.
And knowing his place in the world doesn't mean standing in the doorway with your hands on your hips like, I'm the dog
I
trainer.
own this dog.
I am the owner in this house. We're talking about simple structure and rules. So get a prong collar, or if you want to do full e-collar on him, but at least get him a prong collar. Correct for anything that you see that's weird, because I guarantee you that's not the first time you've seen some weird stuff. And get a nice place command going inside the house, a nice focused heel. We have our free videos, bing, that you can go to. And just and get that stuff all going away, not by being dominant, but just by training your dog and getting him to a better space.
Yeah, just by being fair, giving him good information. I don't like that choice, right? Let him know, I don't like that choice, so he can make a better choice in the future. I could bet so much money that if the consequence you shared with that dog in that moment was significant, he'd probably never think about doing that again.
No,
it's as simple as that. So you don't need to keep him locked away. He doesn't need to go on a separate vacation. All you need to do is share with him what's appropriate and what's not appropriate, and it doesn't need to just happen around your dad or big stuff. Make sure that you're minding boundaries and place command, and that he's healing, and that he's recalling and listening, so you have all this leverage stacked up of good behavior, so he's in that mode of good behavior rather than in that mode of like, I just kind of do what I want to do, and I'm a 2-year-old shepherd, and if somebody touches my leg, I'm gonna raise some hell. So that's not cool.
No.
Cool?
All right, let us know.
Do we have anything to give away?
We do.
We have any?
We do, in fact.
Because people are getting used to
Lots.
People are getting used to, watch out you bozo. Lots of good stuff going out here, so I want to make sure that we have something to give away to the folks.
I have something great to give away. So, I didn't get any inquiries from rescues this week on a prong collar DVD. So
Damn you, rescues.
That's an open invitation. Anyone who is a rescue nonprofit, or you can prove to me that you rescue dogs that aren't your own. I want, a story on that, and we can send you a free prong collar DVD, but we really want it to be something that we can, see videos of dogs being worked over time and see what good things are coming from them.
Yeah.
And hopefully you have a rescue that's open to the tools, and that's what we're looking for. Today, though, we got an email from a gentleman named Spencer. Spencer wrote us a long email, and I'll paraphrase it, but I'll start this out. So, instead of making a case on why I need the e-collar DVD, this is going to be something different. While I could use it, I would much rather let someone else have it who needs it more, and hope that you can help me make it even better for them. I recently bought an Easy 900, which is the Easy Educator, as an upgrade to my Mini Educator. I would love it if you would give my Mini Educator to someone who really needs one, especially someone who cannot afford one, on your Saturday Q&A show. I will include an uncut collar, a Mini 300 transmitter, a charger, along with thick hair titanium probes, and a leather holster.
Wow.
That's like a $200 package right there. Super duper generous. So I'm going to tell his story really quick. Basically, he said, I adopted a dog at a low point in my life. He was working as an EMT, and it made him really cynical because of his work environment. So in an attempt to help me cope, I adopted a 1-year-old blue heeler named Jazz. She seemed great, but after a couple weeks, we realized how scared of the world she was. She dragged us down the sidewalk, coughing and gagging on her collar, until we bought a harness. We struggled up until we had the opportunity to move into a house with a yard. I bought an e-collar and prong at the same time and watched as many videos between you guys, Blake with Dream Come True Canine, and Jeff. Who? And Jeff at Solid Canine. It was night and day for us. I could actually walk her and not avoid other people walking down the sidewalk as well as other dogs. She used to lunge, and now there's none of that anymore. Wow. I wanted to pass it on, as Laura said in a video recently. I hope you read this and look forward to hearing from you. I can ship the e-collar direct to a viewer. Yeah. So sent a picture of his pup.
Awfully sweet.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's amazing.
What's his name?
Spencer.
Spencer.
I already told him.
Thanks, Spencer.
Yeah, if you guys want to put in the running for this, if you can't afford an e-collar, all you need to do is send your story to, this is very important, you send it to this email address, thegooddogway@gmail.com. Any other emails, it won't be accepted, unfortunately. So please listen, thegooddogway@gmail.com. And send us your story and send us why you think you'd be an eligible candidate. And we will, pass the story along to Spencer and we'll decide as a group.
Yeah.
And then when you send your story, make sure that you acknowledge that you're down to have him send it to you directly to your address directly, because he's going to send it specifically.
Yeah.
So,
and there was even, who was it, Johanna? Or
yeah, Johanna could be in the running. Johanna with her Aussie.
I would hit us up with an email. Yep. You said you don't have enough dough for an e-collar.
Yep.
Send us an email and you could just luck out.
Yep. All right, guys.
I think we're out.
Yeah, final thought.
So final thought. So I posted something really, I'm just going to be really, really quick about this, but I posted something today about food work. A lot of people question us why we don't use food in most of our training, and so I broke it down in a Facebook good dog tip that's on the Good Dog Training and Rehabilitation page, as well as the Sean O'Shea page, as well as on our Instagram page. And basically it runs down why we don't use food in a lot of circumstances and the few circumstances that we do use it in. So a lot of people think it's just kind of like black or white or one or the other, but it's not. It's not that we don't use food, it's that we're very specific about what we're looking to achieve. Yeah. And our whole goal, like just with praise or anything else, is that we use food when it helps. We use food when it helps a dog to make better decisions, have a clearer brain, calm down, transform, get into a better space. We don't use food when it creates a hyped up, edgy, freaked out, constantly over alert dog, or a dog that only works for food. So anyways, I'd really recommend everybody takes a look at that. And if you do use food for your training, that's awesome. If it works for you, that's awesome. But our whole gig is that the dogs we like to send home are the dogs that we have the way we live with our dogs, which are calm, relaxed, chilled out, not looking for the next payday, not staring at you constantly, not sitting in place waiting for the next command. They're just chilled out. They just hang, they just exist, and they just have a nice, cool, calm life. And our clients love it, and that's the kind of dogs that we want to send home. So if you want to learn more about our concepts behind food, why we use them, why we don't use them, of course we use them with heavily aggressive dogs, and we've even used them with Helix to help kind of snap out of some of his fear stuff. If you want to learn more about that, then read that Good Dog Tip, and it should hopefully help you make some better choices with you and your dogs. So that is the Good Dog's final thought. Boom.
Bang, 82 in the bag.
We're coming up on 100. What are we going to do?
Next week we're going to be filming probably in NOLA.
Yes.
Tuesday.
Oh, that'd be fun.
And then we might have a couple weeks off.
Oh no, we'll find a way.
We'll find a way?
We'll find a way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We'll find a way.
We love you guys.
Maybe I'll get like a Laura puppet.
You love this puppet thing.
I got in trouble last time doing the puppet. So if I could get like a puppet of you, I could do, I could do Laura Smackdowns. It could be like my alter ego.
Bye, guys.
Use an e-collar. Tell your dog no. I love you guys.
See ya.
See you guys. Bye.